If you're struggling to latch your baby when you're breastfeeding, I have a tip for you that might go against everything you've ever heard before. But stick with me because I'll explain why this one breastfeeding tip can be a huge game changer. Hey, I'm Jaimie, homeschooling mama of 4, Air Force wife, and international board certified lactation consultant. My mission is to help mama bears like you breastfeed with a sense of peace and confidence. I had a horrible introduction to breastfeeding. And with my oldest, we had undiagnosed tongue ties, and we had a pediatrician and a lactation consultant who just didn't know how to support us the way we needed to be supported. So they weren't very helpful. And thankfully, I found really good support through the Leche League, and I got good information that helped me to start advocating for me and for my baby. Thankfully, we were able to overcome most of our challenges, and I was able to go on and breastfeed him for over a year, breastfeed my other babies for over a year, even though they all had tongue ties too. And I've gone on to help many other moms do the same, overcome breastfeeding challenges that they didn't think they could overcome. I know a rough start with breastfeeding can be absolutely exhausting, but there is hope, and I don't want you to lose hope. There is support out there, and we're going to get that for you. Real quick, before I share this tip with you, I want you to go ahead and hit subscribe if you're new around here and click the little bell so that you can get notifications every time I share breastfeeding tips. I'm super excited to be starting this channel back up and be helping you out with breastfeeding. And without further ado, let me start telling you about this one tip that can change breastfeeding for you. So in the past, you've probably had somebody tell you that an easy way to get your baby to latch when they don't want to open their mouth is to use the nipple to nose technique. So a lot of times you might have your breast and they'll show you to tap the nipple to the nose to encourage the baby to open their mouth wide. And while that's a really common tip and it's not necessarily wrong, it's not right for every baby. Let me explain why. So I've had a lot of clients coming to me telling me, I've tried the nipple to nose technique, my baby's still not latching. And to be honest, I've talked about this technique in the past and I have encouraged it in the past because sometimes it works. But when it's not working, what do you do? Well, there's a reason that it's not working in all of those babies who come to me and mom's like, I've tried nipple to nose, it's not working. I watch them feed and what I see is baby is not extending. Baby is inflection. So when a baby goes to breastfeed, let me get my handy dandy little puppet for you. When a baby goes to breastfeed, we don't want them to be breastfeeding like this. We want them to be breastfeeding like this. This puppet's not the easiest to show. Let me see if this baby will show you better. So we don't want them to have their chin down to breastfeed. We want the chin back, right? We want the neck back, chin up, neck back. But if your baby is not doing that for some reason and you use this nipple to nose technique, what happens is this. Tap the nipple to the nose, they open wide and go on. Sorry, I'm like so used to the extension. So imagine they're a little crouched down, tap nipple to the nose, they open as wide as they can and go on, but it's still a shallow latch. This is happening more than you think. And so they're nursing, and they're still losing suction and it's still hurting. And mom's like, I'm doing this nipple to nose, they're opening their mouth, but I can't get this deep latch. Well, this is what you came here for. This is the tip. We don't want to be doing nipple to nose. We want to be doing chin to breast. Because when we tap the chin to the breast, do you see the difference there? Do you see if you hit the chin with the breast first, baby has to put their head back. So baby puts their head back, and you can go ahead and roll it on. A lot of people might call whatever, the flipple, whatever silly cute names people have for it. You can tap their nose to open the mouth, but then you need to make sure that they're not doing this. Make sure that if you're tapping here, we're getting a wide mouth and then going here first. Do you see the difference? I'll show you with myself too. This is always awkward because this does not taste very good. But if my chin is tucked, you can still tap here. I can still open my mouth, it looks wide, and go on, right? But if I'm not flexed, my tongue is not going the way it needs to go in order to latch properly, use it properly, maintain suction, be able to breathe, coordinate suck, swallow, breathing, all of that. Now, if my tongue, or if my chin is out, and we tap, even if you tap the nose, see, we want the chin to be buried into the breast. You don't want to be doing that thing, okay? So if you've heard nipple to nose and it's not working for you, see if your baby is tucking their chin still, shrugging their shoulders. If you're not seeing their neck stretch out and their chin hit your breast first, see if you can make some adjustments there. If you're struggling with that, there's a certain way that you can hold the baby's neck. So a lot of people will go ahead and do this kind of, this is a naked baby, so it's a little awkward. We'll do this kind of thing where they use their breast and they tap to the baby's nose and smush them on. This is not supporting extension. This is not helping your baby do this. It's actually encouraging them to curl around because you're using this arm to push them on. So my recommendation would actually be to do more of a cross cradle. See how my fingers support around the back of the neck? Help baby tilt their head back. This baby is very stiff, so it makes it very hard to show you. Help tilt back. Chin touches the breast first, and then roll on. Tilt baby's head back. Chin touches the breast first, and then encourage them to latch. I hope you found this tip helpful, and if you find that maybe your baby is kind of stuck in flexion and you're not able to get them out of that situation and you don't know what to do to help them latch better, working with a lactation consultant and good chiropractor or a body worker can really make a huge difference in helping baby to latch, kind of understanding why they're stuck that way and finding ways to unstuck them. So if you are struggling with latching and you feel like you need extra support, I want you to know that help is available. Right now, you can check to see if your insurance is working with a company called the Lactation Network. If they are, then you can actually book a free telehealth lactation consult with me and get the support that you need. If your insurance is not working with TLN, you can still work with me because I still have options. If you happen to have TRICARE East, I do work with TRICARE, so I will be able to take your insurance and you'll be qualified for a free visit also. If you don't have TRICARE and you don't have a company or you don't have an insurance that's working with TLN, then there are still options. If you have Medicaid or TRICARE West, I do provide a significant discount for you for lactation consults. There's also the option to use your flex spending account or your healthcare savings account. If you don't have an FSA or HSA, you can also just do cash pay. I try and make my virtual visits as affordable as possible because I know it can be hard when you don't have anybody local and then you have to pay out of pocket. It all gets frustrating. So I'm doing my best to make it as accessible as possible. And if you do check through TLN and find out that you're denied, I'm offering you a 5% cash discount as a courtesy, but you have to check through TLN first because I can see if you got denied or approved and we'll go through them and see if it works. And if not, I'll go ahead and give you a discount, but you have to go through them first. Make sure you hit subscribe if you haven't already and click that little bell so you get notifications next time I share breastfeeding tips for mama bears like you. See you next time.